The Sleeping Beauty of the Smithsonian in Washington is about to awaken after a long nap. Chip Reid gives us a sneak preview.
A whimsical fortress with an eventful past. It sits on the National Mall in Washington, D.C., these days as little more than eye candy.
I love this building. Look at the beauty of it, the architecture. I love that it's got the date on it, and it says the National Museum. I mean, I just love that.
It's beautiful.
The Smithsonian's Arts and Industries Building, AIB for short. Vacant for nearly 20 years due to major structural concerns, is about to reopen to the public this fall, just in time for the Smithsonian's 175th anniversary.
It's a great building. The light bulb, the telephone, the Wright brothers came in here to see early gliders.
We were lucky enough to get a preview with the man in charge, Lonnie Bunch, secretary of the Smithsonian Institution.
To me, this is the mother of the Smithsonian. So much of what we do at the Smithsonian began here.
That's because before there was an African American History Museum, an Air and Space Museum, or a National Zoo,
The Smithsonian Institution was begun.
Everything was right here.
This building was built to be the first national museum of the Smithsonian. In essence, what this was a place that allowed you to understand the history and culture of the United States.
The Smithsonian is the keeper of American history, with collections ranging from presidential hair samples and moon rocks to some of the world's greatest flying machines.
This was built and opened in 1881 with the inaugural ball of James Garfield.
On March 4th, 1881, just 4 months before he was shot by an assassin, President James A. Garfield celebrated his inauguration here, the first large event held in this building.
You would have walked in through those doors, right through there, and to your right, there would have been the U.S. Marine Corps Band being conducted by John Philip Sousa.
Wow.
Rachel Goslins, the building's director,
And then this roof looks like a cathedral.
and architect and designer David Rockwell know this space better than just about anyone. They've teamed up to imagine new uses for this old space.
We're opening an exhibition in November called Futures, which is also...
God, that's so soon.
I know, I'm saying it out loud, a little terrifying.
So there's a lot of work to do between now and November.
There's a lot of work to do.
Ready or not, Futures is on its way. An exhibit dedicated entirely to the future, in a building designed to be ahead of its time.
It was built in a way that is very democratic. There is no set of carved marble steps. It's ordinary, pre-engineered materials, brick and iron. So it was built to house big ideas.
It is grand but not grandiose. It's this hodgepodge of styles, part Victorian castle, part Moorish villa, part cathedral, and part fish market.
You sound like you have an emotional attachment to this building.
It's like Sleeping Beauty. It's been lying dormant on the National Mall for almost 2 decades.
When the Futures exhibit ends in 2022, this beauty will go back to sleep for a little while to undergo some much-needed interior decorating.
What do you want to see when you look down here after the reopening?
I want to hear the excitement and the questions and the conversations, the hubbub of this building full of people who are excited and intrigued and curious.